Unite union boss Sharon Graham says that Labour should give Britain a break and borrow more to help hurting workers. We're going to read into this piece from Sky News, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from Sky News with the headline of the Unite Union boss Sharon Graham says that Labour should give Britain a break and borrow more to help hurting workers. Sharon Graham tells Sky News other countries with growing economics have higher debt to GDP ratios, and there is wiggle room to relax Labour's fiscal rules. Guys, while you're here, make sure you hit the like button and share it across social media so others are notified of this video. So one of the biggest problems, I would say, with regards to workers right now is the gap in the wages between that and inflation, and with our simple basic needs. The cost of everything is just too much, and our bills, our wages have just not gone up enough to help match it, especially for people on the middle and low income. Have really of income, and I use that. I try to prefer using that term of those earners rather than calling people a certain class, shall we say. Those who are earning that roughly amount, their pay packages haven't really changed that much, and because of that, it's making it more difficult because, as we all know, everything has costed more. Over the last 14 years, things have gone up. Prices have gone up pretty much on everything. We've seen it. We've seen it in the shops. We've seen it We've seen it in our bills. We see it pretty much everywhere. And yet, our wages, for some of us, it's just not gone up at all. And we need something to give here. Now, I've not joined a union. I'm not part of a union. I know some people think I should join a union. I know who wants me to join one in particular. And I'm not ruling out possibly joining one in the future, because I do think that being a part of a union gives you a lot of benefits, gives you a lot of perks, and it can protect you from your employer. So I do think it's worth looking at unions out there. I really do think it's worth looking at them. Whatever kind of working environment you got. It could be a real difference maker between protecting your employment rights, and I think people's employment rights have been eroded under this Conservative government, and I still think that they have been continuously eroding for a long time. Now, whether or not they will get the same rights that they had before the Conservatives took a lot away is a question. And I do think that Labour are holding back. When she says that they need to give Britain a break and borrow more, I understand that. I really do, and I think more does need to be given. But I also think that Labour are playing things really safe. They've got a lot of donors now, not just from union bosses, but a lot from big corporations, from some billionaires and millionaires now, who have gone in and looking to influence the Labour Party in their own interest rather than in the interest of the interest of unions and the so-called average working class person. So there's a lot of factors into that. So let's read more of what she's had to say here. So she says she does not agree with the Labour fiscal rules and that the party should borrow more to invest. Now, speaking to Sky News on Sunday morning, Trevor Phillips, the Unite General Secretary, said other countries with growing economics have a larger debt-to-GDP ratio than the UK, so there is a wiggle room. Rachel Reeves, the chancellor, has promised to retain the Tories' commitment that debt as a proportion of GDP must be on track to fall in 5 years if Labour wins the election on the 4th of July. But she has ruled out borrowing funds day-to-day spending, saying her focus will be on reforms to grow the economy. Now, I do think there can be some reforms of some sorts that can help, but to grow the economy is just going to be like, I wish they would be more sometimes in detail when they keep saying they're going to grow the economy. They don't really give enough detail on that. So that's why people are skeptical of Labour, because Labour are not always very clear. I know, obviously, I've been through the manifesto and they talk about building foundations, but even with what the manifesto stated, still there's not enough information from some people. Even myself, I feel that there are not enough information out there. Ms Graham has said that I don't agree with Rachel Reeves in terms of what has been said about plans on growth. Now, if you look at other countries, in France, their debt to GDP is 112%. In America, where the economy is growing, it's 130% in debt to GDP. Ours is around about 99%. We have wiggle room. Give Britain a break. Now, is it right that we should perhaps put more debt on us? Is that a good thing? To mind you, I remember we were told that when austerity was coming along, everyone was going to have to do their bit. And that was supposed to help reduce the debt. And yet we find ourselves with this debt on us. Because the Conservatives said, but austerity was supposed to reduce the debt, and yet we've got more debt. Oh well, there was the COVID, there was the EU referendum may have had an impact to that. Oh, there was also the COVID-19 pandemic may have had a part of that. Oh yeah, and the war in Ukraine. There's these global factors actually, so we kind of had to put ourselves in debt. Excuses. Something Conservatives are very keen to use. The union leader said that workers are literally hurting beyond anything that you could comprehend, and it is due to the cost of living crisis. She added, "We need the straitjacket off a little bit. Let's get some wiggle room there. Borrowing to invest is not the same as other borrowing. It's borrowing to invest." Yeah, the problem is Labour don't want to really do that. Labour Shadow Education Secretary Bridget Phillips said that she does not accept Miss Graham's accusations and insisted the party will not increase taxes if it wins the election. Nonsense. They're going to increase taxes some way. It's just a case of where. Sharon Graham has an important job to do and represents her members, and I do respect her for what she has to say. But we saw under the Conservatives what comes in playing fast and loose with the public finances. And it's working people who pay the price, and they're paying more on their rent and their mortgage every single month because of Liz Truss and the cavalier approach they took. And we will not be taking that approach as Rachel Reeves has set out. She added that Rachel Reeves is not interested in tax hikes. Again, nonsense. They're going to be raising taxes somewhere. It's just a case of where. They have to raise taxes somewhere. If they want to really make a difference to this country, and they will want to make a difference, they are going to have to raise taxes somewhere. The question is where. Unite is Labour's biggest union donor, but has refused to endorse the party's general election manifesto. Ms Graham has been an outspoken critic of Keir Starmer in the past, previously warning him not to limp into number 10 and calling on him to be bolder with his pledges by nationalising energy, for example. There has also been a row about his plans to phase out oil and gas licences in the transition to clean energy, which Unite has called a ban without a plan and said it threatens job losses. Yes, we've heard this many times about the job losses, especially for those up in Scotland as well. That has been an issue there as well. And more recently, Unite accused Labour of watering down its package of workers' rights, saying the plan had more holes than Swiss cheese. Mrs Graham's concerns echo those of think tanks who said public services need far more investment than what of any of the major parties have pledged during the campaign. Sir Keir has rejected that argument, insisting there will be no return to austerity despite his party's commitment to iron discipline with the country's finances. He has previously defended his U-turn on big spending commitments like nationalising utilities, saying the policy became too expensive after the Tories damaged the economy. In response to other criticism from Ms Graham, he has insisted he is not turning off the taps on oil and gas, while arguing his package of workers' rights will boost wages and raise living standards. With less than 2 weeks to go, well, coming less to a week roughly at this time of this recording, Labour is projected to win a historic landslide after 14 years out of power. Ms Graham says she still wants to see a Labour government in number 10, but thinks the party's proposals for the country don't go far enough after years of Tory neglect. The Labour Party has been contacted for comment. I understand, and I understand her concerns. I really, really do. And her obviously the union not even propping up the manifesto speaks a lot of volumes as well. That says a lot about how unions feel about this. I think there was also before the manifesto came out as well that they weren't completely on board with it as well, which didn't help as well. But they're trying to be a so-called broad church, as Keir Starmer likes to put it. And Sharon Graham says, give us a little bit more. Give us something, anything. And the thing is that many people don't feel like that Labour are offering a real change, a real alternative. yes, they've got some things they're going to be doing, without a doubt, but are they going to be doing enough? But here's also the other thing for those who, understandably like myself, question Labour. Just have to remember that we've had one political party for 14 years, and 14 years is a long time. It's a long time. And was things perfect back under a Labour government? No. But were they a hell of a lot better than they have been the last 14 years? Hell yeah. They were definitely a lot better. Now, like, Keir Starmer's, we're not stupid. We know Keir Starmer's going to be, the clock is going to be against him when he becomes Prime Minister. And it will. The clock will be on him. It's just a question of what he's going to be able to do in this time. Because the moment he steps in, people will literally be counting down the days for when that next general election is going to be. But until then, what do you guys honestly think? What do you guys think of Sharon Graham and what she has stated? What do you make of Unite Union's role in the Labour Party? Do you feel that they may be becoming less of a voice in there, or maybe becoming more obsolete? Let me know your thoughts and more about all of this in the comment section down below. If you found this video informative, please hit the like button, we greatly appreciate it. Share this across social media so others are notified of this video. And subscribe, because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further, financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p. Or you can join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to catch you all very, very soon.